So I'm going to give you a quick little tutorial on how I skin a raccoon. This won't be the best video out there. I'm sure there's some out there that's better, but if you run across mine and you're looking for how to skin a raccoon, I'm going to show you how I do it, some of the tools I use, and we'll go from there. So let's get started. Alright, first things first. I've got my raccoon, and the camera really doesn't do it justice. This is a huge raccoon. We caught it in a 330 conibear this morning. Super thick, super prime coat. And what I've got is I've got a penny snare, and I've showed that in some other videos of how I make those. But I'm just using a penny snare to hang it to its ankle up here, and I've got it hanging from the rafters of my garage, and that's what I use to skin with. So keep it pretty simple. First thing we'll do, I've got two knives. I got my first cut knife, nothing special, just something sharp that works. And then we'll round out the ankles. So all I'm doing is cutting all the way around the ankle, just like that. There we go. Alright, then I'll go right here, up this leg, right in front of the vent, and all the way up. I've already skinned several, so my knife could use a little sharpening. There we go. This thing has got some fat on him. I'm trying to stay in as straight a line as I can. This guy's so thick it's hard to see where my cuts are. I'm actually going to grab a different knife. This should make things a little bit easier. There we go. That knife I've been using to round things out so it gets all over that bone and stuff and dulls up pretty quickly. Alright, that's that. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take right behind the vent on the tail, make a little cut right here. Not too deep. Then I'll take my knife and go on the sides of the vent and just cut that fur out right there. Do the same right here. I hope y'all are getting a good look at this. Alright. So that's that. Now I'm just going to work my way around this leg right here a little bit. I'm not trying to do too much, so I'm going to do mostly pulling on this. So I'm just kind of loosening things up where I can get a grip. Now I'm going to grab the fur right here and just peel down. Alright. Take my knife, cut back here a little bit towards the tail. This is mostly all just fat, and this guy is fat. That's really about all I'm going to do right there. I'll finish that cut. Alright, now I'm just going to switch feet. Lord, this guy's heavy. Goodness. Alright, there we go. And that's that. Now we're just going to do the exact same thing. my knife, start working down around this leg. Hold that fur and just pull it down. Gets a little bit more difficult with all this fat. Alright, so that's that. Now we're going to start working right here around the tail. Take my knife, carefully go over here until I find that tailbone. So all we want to do is find that tailbone and get underneath it. There's so much fat. The same thing on this side. There we go. We're starting to get somewhere. All right. Work a little bit more on this side. Now I'm gonna put my knife about 2 inches in that tail right there and kind of work that down around it. We don't want to go too far down, and I'll show you why here in a second. And just give us a little bit more room to work, see where the fur is. Alright, that's what we've done is we've freed that tail up. We're going to go ahead and cut just a little bit more because of how thick this guy is. I'm just working down a little bit more. Keeping our knife pointed towards the tailbone so we don't cut into the hide. That should be good enough. Alright, now what we'll do is take this. This is a tail stripper. You can get these on Amazon, Trapper Supply Companies. This little piece of aluminum, nothing special. We're going to sit there and grab that, put that tail in, and we'll put all my weight, I'm going to pull down. We should just strip that bone right out of the tail. Well, that's unfortunate. So, usually that goes much better. What we did is rip the tail out of the raccoon itself. So we'll have to attach this up here later on and do that. I'll show you that here in a minute. Not how we wanted things to go. So we'll go ahead and just cut this tail off. Kind of keep that out of our way. And keep working down. I think what that is right there is that fat's just so thick. I just cut a little bit too deep. Can't really see where I was working. And you can see that is nothing but fat. Alright, let's get this front side a little bit. Gotta get up here. Gotta cut his manhood. I'm just gonna keep working down. I'll take this right here. This is the penis bone, aka the coon dick. We'll get that cleaned up later. Alright, we can take the boys and cut them off. We don't need them. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take these feet, I'll round them out and twist them off. Go. One. Hold on to it. This thing's so greasy. got to be the fattest coon. Have better skin. See that crunch? Alright, there we go. Everything has been a little bit more complicated than it should be, but this is a big old coon, and you know, it's not going to go right every single time. So this kind of shows you when things do go wrong. You have a little trouble cutting, or the whole tail piece comes off. I can show you how to fix all that. So it's a learning experience. Alright, we just want to do a little bit more cutting, some of this fat. And now we're going to give this hide a pull. All this fat is going to be hard to do. There we go. And ideally what I want to do is I want to pull it down towards these shoulders and a little bit past if we can manage. There we go. Now that we've got the shoulders exposed right here, you can see what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in that armpit. I've got this little steel bar, and all I'm going to do, put it right in that armpit above the hide, and then pull down. What that does, peels his arm out of the hide, makes it real easy. Alright. So that's pretty much the toughest part, is getting to these shoulders. Now we're just going to start skinning out the head. And the way I do this, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this on camera real good. Actually, I'm going to have to back the camera up for me to show you, so give me 1 second. Alright. That should be a little bit better. Should give you a better angle on what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm going to re-glove. You don't want to, if you can help it, if you've got some gloves, you don't leave this fat stuff all over you. Just makes it simple. Alright. So, what I do is I've got this thing swinging. I sit there and grab that fur, and I just start cutting along that seam that I can see. This has got so much fat on the hide, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just making circles around this head, right where that roll is. If y'all can see that or not. Got this roll right here, and I'm just making little cuts towards the skull, not towards the fur, while I'm maintaining pressure. Now what I'm going to start doing here in a second, I'll start feeling for the ears. Once I feel those, we'll make a little bit deeper cut. Alright. There's an ear right here, so I'm just going to cut a little bit deeper. Just like that. We'll cut that ear off. Now I'm going to use that ear to hold on to this hide. Cut the other one. Alright. Same thing, I'm using these ears. Keeping pressure. Should be getting towards the eyes here soon. This can be a little confusing, and you'll probably mess a few up here and there, but it's alright. I still mess them up every now and then. Cut that eye out. See right there, I cut a little bit too much of that eyelid. That's all right. Now, if you're trying to sell these furs and stuff, you'll probably want to take your time a little bit more. This is all for myself. I'm not going to use the face. I keep the face there just for when I'm stretching the hide. It makes things easier. All right. Now we've got it down like this. I'm just going to keep working towards the tip of the nose. I'm using my knife pointed towards the bone. And when I get here towards the end where I can feel some of this cartilage, I'm just going to cut that nose off. There we go. Now I've still got to flesh this, but I'll turn it inside out just so you can get a look at it real quick. That's what our big old hide looks like. Oh, and we got to strip this tail, so let me show you that real quick. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to take this tail and put it in our little holder. This right here is going to fall to the ground. And now we're just going to use those tail strippers. Same thing. Apply pressure. And it zips it right off that tail. Then what I'm going to do, this is called a tail splitter. I'll hook it right there, right where our last cut was, and just slide it down and split that tail wide open. So that we'll be able to clean that fat out and everything and tan that up. So that's it. That's how I skin a coon. Hope that helps somebody.